School never taught you this, but the rich have been using these money secrets for decades. I'm talking about the fundamental principles that separate the wealthy from everyone else. The kind of stuff that, once you see it, you can't unsee. For years, I thought the path to wealth was simple. Get good grades, find a safe, secure job, and save your money. But it turns out that's the exact advice that keeps most people stuck in the middle class, working their entire lives just to get by. It's a system designed to keep you compliant, not to make you rich. In this eye-opening video, I expose the shocking truths from Rich Dad, Poor Dad that schools, banks, and the 1% don't want you to know. This book completely shattered my understanding of money, and honestly, it made me a little angry that nobody told me this stuff sooner. We're going to break down the 6 most powerful rules from the book that you can start applying today to change your financial future. This isn't about getting a higher-paying job. It's about fundamentally changing the game you're playing. We'll cover why your house is probably a liability, how the rich legally pay almost nothing in taxes, and the single most important mindset shift you need to make to have your money start working for you, instead of the other way around. So grab a notepad, turn off distractions, and get ready. Warning, this will change how you see money forever. Let's get into it. The very first lesson, and honestly, the most important one, is that the rich don't work for money. Now I know what you're thinking, Kaiser, that makes no sense. Of course they work. But hear me out, the poor and the middle class work for their paychecks. They trade their time, their most valuable and non-renewable resource, for a specific amount of money. If they stop working, the money stops coming in. It's a direct trade. The rich, on the other hand, spend their time building or buying things that generate money for them, even when they're not actively working. Think about it like this. Instead of spending 40 hours a week digging a ditch for a paycheck, the rich spend those 40 hours building a machine that digs ditches automatically. Once the machine is built, it keeps digging and making money 24/7, whether they're sleeping, on vacation, or building another machine. This is the core concept of passive income. Your goal should not be to get a raise at your job. Your goal should be to acquire assets that put money in your pocket month after month without you having to lift a finger. It's a total paradigm shift. So, how do you start? You begin by changing your mindset from being a consumer to being an investor. Every dollar you earn is a little soldier. You can either send it out to buy you liabilities, things that take money out of your pocket like fancy coffees and new gadgets, or you can send it out to capture more prisoners, which are more dollars. You start small. Maybe it's a dividend-paying stock, a small rental property, or even creating a digital product. The point is to begin building your army of dollar soldiers that work tirelessly for you. This brings us to the second rule, which sounds so simple, but it's where 99% of people get it wrong. You must know the difference between an asset and a liability, and then spend your life buying assets. Kiyosaki's definition is brutally simple. An asset is something that puts money in your pocket. A liability is something that takes money out of your pocket. That's it. It's not about what your banker, your accountant, or your parents tell you is an asset. It's about the cash flow. Does it pay you, or do you pay for it? Most people think they're buying assets when they're actually loading up on liabilities. They buy a brand new car on finance, thinking it's an asset. But every month, that car takes money out of your pocket for the payment, insurance, gas, and maintenance. It's a liability. They buy the latest iPhone, designer clothes, and expensive subscriptions. All liabilities. The middle class is drowning in a sea of monthly payment liabilities, all while thinking they're building a respectable lifestyle. The rich, however, are obsessed with acquiring assets. What are these assets? We're talking about businesses you don't have to actively manage: stocks, bonds, income-generating real estate, and intellectual property like books or patents. The rich focus their energy and capital on buying these things first. They use the income generated from their assets to pay for their luxuries. The middle class buys luxuries with their own sweat and blood from their paycheck. The rich have their assets buy their luxuries for them. See the difference? It's a game changer. So you understand that you need to buy assets that make money work for you. The next step is using that knowledge to strategically plan your escape from what Kiyosaki famously calls the rat race. The rat race is that endless cycle of working for money to pay your bills. You get a job, you start earning money. As you earn more, your expenses magically rise to meet your income. You buy a nicer car, a bigger house, you go on more expensive vacations, you get a promotion, make more money, and then you upgrade your lifestyle again. You're running faster and faster on the hamster wheel, but you're not actually going anywhere. Your income goes up, but so do your taxes and your debt. You become trapped. You're afraid to lose your job because your entire lifestyle, propped up by liabilities, would come crashing down. This fear is what keeps people working in jobs they hate for 40 years. It's not freedom, it's a golden cage. The way out isn't by earning more money at your job. The way out is by focusing on your asset column. Your mission is to build up your passive income from your assets until it exceeds your monthly expenses. The moment your monthly income from your assets is greater than your monthly living expenses, you are financially free. You have escaped the rat race. You no longer need your job to survive. You can still work if you want to, but you're working because you choose to, not because you have to. That is the ultimate definition of freedom. The entire game shifts from how can I earn more to how can I acquire one more asset. Every dollar you put into your asset column is a step towards buying back your time and your life. Alright, this is the one that gets people really fired up. For generations we've been told the same thing. Buying a home is the best investment you can make. It's the American dream. But according to Rich Dad, your primary residence, the house you live in, is not an asset, it's a liability. And when you think about it using his simple definition, it makes perfect sense. Your house takes money out of your pocket every single month. You have the mortgage payment, property taxes, insurance, maintenance, repairs, utilities. The list goes on and on. The banks and the government love for you to think your house is an asset because it traps you. It ties you to a 30-year mortgage, forcing you to keep that safe, secure job to make the payments. It keeps you in the rat race. Now, I'm not saying don't buy a house to live in, but you need to understand its true financial nature. It's a place to live, a lifestyle choice, but it is not an investment in the same way an income-producing asset is. It doesn't put cash in your pocket, it takes it out. So, what's the Rich Dad way? The rich buy real estate as an investment first. They buy a property, a duplex, an apartment building, a single-family home, and they rent it out. That property becomes a true asset because the tenant's rent check covers the mortgage, taxes, insurance, and all other expenses, and then puts the leftover cash flow directly into their pocket. They use this cash flow to build their asset column even bigger. They might own 10 rental properties before they even consider buying their own dream home, and when they do, they use the passive income from their assets to pay for it. This is one of the biggest secrets of the wealthy. The middle class earns money, pays taxes on that income, and then tries to live on what's left. The rich have a completely different structure. They earn money, they spend it on things that grow their businesses or investments, and then they pay taxes on the tiny amount that's left over, if any. The tax code isn't designed to be fair, it's designed with a set of incentives and rules. The rich simply learn the rules of the game and play it to their advantage, all completely legally. How do they do this? The key is through corporations. An employee earns $1, the government takes its 30 to 40% cut immediately, and the employee is left with 60 cents to spend. A business owner operating through a corporation earns $1. The corporation can then spend that dollar on legitimate business expenses. Taxes are calculated. Things like company cars, travel, meals, equipment, even portions of their home office. These are all pre-tax expenses. They get the full benefit of the dollar, and only then is the remaining profit taxed. This is a massive advantage. While you're paying for your car, your phone, and your internet with after-tax money, a savvy business owner is running those same expenses through their company with pre-tax dollars. This is why the Rich Dad lesson is to mind your own business. This doesn't mean starting a side hustle, it means setting up a corporate structure around your assets. Your business is your asset column. By doing this, you can take advantage of the tax laws that are written to encourage investment and business growth, legally keeping far more of the money your assets generate. Okay, for the bonus rule, we need to talk about the cash flow quadrant. This is a framework from the sequel to Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and it's the roadmap for escaping the 9-to-5. Kiyosaki divides the world into 4 types of people based on how they earn their income. On the left side, you have E for employee and S for self-employed or small business owner. E's have a job, S's own a job. If an S, like a doctor or a freelance artist, stops working, their income stops. They've traded the security of being an employee for more control, but they're still trading time for money. The right side of the quadrant is where the rich live. You have B for big business owner and I for investor. AB owns a system and has people working for them. If they go on vacation for a year, they come back and their business is bigger and more profitable than when they left. Think of a McDonald's franchise owner. They own a proven system. And I is an investor. They make money with money. They don't have to work at all because their money is working for them 24/7. This is the ultimate goal. The hack, the secret to getting rich, is to move from the left side of the quadrant to the right side. You might start as an E. Then, in your spare time, you start a side hustle, becoming an S. You use the profits from your S quadrant business to buy assets, which starts to move you into the I quadrant. As you grow your systems and hire people to run your business, you transition from an S to a B. The goal is to generate the majority of your income from the B and I quadrants. That is the path to true sustainable wealth and freedom. So there you have it, the 6 powerful money rules from Rich Dad Poor Dad that have the power to completely transform your life if you apply them. It all boils down to a shift in mindset. Stop working for money and start building and buying assets that work for you. Understand the true difference between an asset and a liability, mind your own business by building your asset column, and use the tax code and corporate structures to your advantage. This isn't taught in schools, and it's the exact blueprint the wealthy use to get ahead and stay ahead. The journey from the left side of the cash flow quadrant to the right side isn't easy, and it won't happen overnight. But it starts with the decision to play a different game. It starts today, with the next dollar you earn. Are you going to use it to buy a liability, or are you going to put it to work buying an asset? The choice is yours, but now you know the rules of the game. If you want to dive deeper into these concepts, I highly recommend reading the book. Want the full book? Link here. It's a resource that has created countless millionaires. Thank you so much for watching. If this video opened your eyes and gave you a new perspective on money, do me a huge favor and smash that like button. It really helps the channel out. And for more financial truths and strategies that they don't want you to know, make sure you subscribe for more money truths they hide from you. Let me know in the comments which rules surprised you the most. See you in the next video.